conversation with Robin and Janelle and Mary, I'm not looking forward to that one at all. I don't want to burn bridges at the end of this. Some relationships are going to be fine, some are not going to.
I feel unmanly, so I'm not going to sit and go, hey, somebody's leaving me. I don't want my other wives to see me as weak.
I know that they're going to be frustrated and mad and hurt and feel betrayed. And what does that mean to be a sister wife then? Am I still a sister wife? And the answer is no.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. How is everyone? It is Thursday, September 15th, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Listen, we have been getting a lot of clips rolling in from the sister wives, and I just wanted to do something real quick because there's a brand new clip of Christine and Cody talking about how they're gonna break the news to the sister wives about her leaving him. Okay? Him. Okay, you know that when you're breaking up with a man in the world of polygamy, you're also breaking up with your sister wives, all right? Okay, so sister wives was supposed to be about a family that back in 2011, 2010 was advocating for polygamy. I mean, Christine and Cody were active people. They were part of this organization called Principal Voices, and she spoke publicly about advocating for polygamy. It's quite a turn of events now to see her in a room with Cody looking dejected, and her and him talking about how they're going to break the news to her sister wives. I don't know if this is the same for how it works with every wife that leaves polygamy. I don't know if they all have a send-off where they tell and break the news to everyone. I'm not clear if this is how it goes, but Cody in his own right has his own feelings, and I think it's kind of funny because he doesn't want it to look like he's weak, right, when she's leaving. So the conversation is taking place after they have had their argument and she's ended the marriage, and now they're talking about how she's going to break the news to Mary, Robin, and Janelle. Before we get into that, can you do me a huge favor and give this video a thumbs up? Also, subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed, and turn your notifications on so you know when new content loads, and you know when I go live, if I ever go live. And leave me some comments. Make sure you let me know how you like these videos, if there's things that you don't like, if you love it, whatever, and let me know what is been most frustrating for you as you have been watching this new season. So at the end of this video, I'm also going to talk with you a little bit about a situation that's going on with the FLDS and an arrest that was made a couple days ago, yesterday actually. 2 days ago, and it relates to an old follower of Warren Jeffs who has started his own sect and kind of is emulating what Warren had done. And it's really disturbing that this is still happening in 2022. And it, I think, shows you another side of polygamy that is maybe more the reality for a lot of people that are involved in it than what the Browns are dealing with. So let's start off with this discussion about what it's like for Christine to leave Cody when she's a member of the Apostolic United Brethren, and what that looks like in their relationship. So she recognizes in this new clip that it's going to be super hard for her to break the news to her sister wives. Check it out.
The conversation with Robin and Janelle and Mary, I'm not looking forward to that one at all. I don't want to burn bridges at the end of this. Some relationships are going to be fine, some are not going to be fine.
So Christine recognizes that telling her sister wives is going to be really, really hard. And I just want to say that the reason why I believe she is saying that some of the relationships will be fine and some won't be fine is because pretty standard in the AUB, and really when you leave any high control group, whether it's the Apostolic United Brethren or if it's, say, IBLP, FLDS, shunning is a real component of leaving, meaning people that leave are considered to betray their Gentiles, they are apostates, they are dangerous to the group. So for her to lose relationships will be expected in this situation, and it's going to be something that she'll have to face leaving. And this is something that lots of people talk about when they leave polygamy, that they're shunned and their relationships become strained. So that's a real fear for her, and one that I think she needs to consider. And then Cody had his own things to say about the situation.
I feel unmanly, so I'm not going to sit and go, hey, somebody's leaving me. I don't want my other wives to see me as weak. So I don't want to talk about it to them.
Cody's response in the situation is that he doesn't want the other wives to see him as weak. And the fact that he is being broken up with by Christine is a huge blow to his ego. And it also opens the door to them to realize, hey, I can leave too. Oh my gosh, it's not impossible to go. He would probably rather not talk about it because he doesn't want them to see him groveling or being upset and that he's lost, because he's the one that's supposed to be the leader and in control. But then she explains who knows and who doesn't know. Check this out.
Janelle knows more than anyone about the struggles that Cody and I are having, but no one knows that I'm actually leaving.
Do you think you should do that without me?
I really need you there the first time.
Really?
Because I would like it to be me leaving is me leaving, but we have talked about it.
Christine admits that Janelle is the one that actually knows the most about her problems with Cody. And I don't think anyone should be surprised with that. But what I thought was interesting is that she said, no one knows that I'm going to leave. And then when Cody and her start talking about whether or not he needs to be there at the conversation, he doesn't want to be there, again, because he doesn't want them to see him sweating, right? But Christine says it's important for him to be there so that they understand that she's already had this conversation with Cody and that there's no hard feelings about it. I think she's trying to just show them like it's amicable, everything's fine. She's trying to make sure that she's not betraying Cody, making them feel like doubtful, like, is she really serious? If Cody's there, it's final. It's in front of everyone. There's no doubts. But Cody doesn't want to be there. So what are they going to do? Check this out.
I know that they're going to be frustrated and mad and hurt and feel betrayed. And what does that mean to be a sister wife then? Am I still a sister wife? And the answer is no. I can't be their sister wife anymore. I can be their friend. And the relationship, like how close I am with Janelle, is going to stay like that. How not very close I am with Robin and Mary is going to stay like that too.
Being a sister wife means that you share the same husband, and they're not going to be sharing the same husband anymore. So she won't be a sister wife anymore, right? And she's going to betray their covenant and their commitment that they made to their celestial kingdom. Some of them will have a hard time accepting that, like Robin and Mary, but she will continue to be friends with Janelle. It's either way not something I envy her having to go into and walk into. It's going to be hurt feelings all around.
Part of me wants Christine to admit that she's leaving because of her, not because of me. She's been trying to justify her leaving by things I've been doing, not by choices or behaviors that she's had.
Do this, because I want to be honest with them really badly.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna have to sit down with them and have a discussion.
So Cody finally laments and he wants to sit down and have a discussion. He also wants Christine to admit the reason why she's leaving is because of her behavior. He's like still trying to control the breakup. She's breaking up with him because of her not feeling happy in the marriage. And he wants her to take responsibility for her deciding to leave. She is taking responsibility for her deciding to leave. But when you're broken up with, part of the process is understanding that the other person doesn't want to be with you. She doesn't have to take responsibility for anything because her responsibility is to stay or not stay, and she doesn't want to stay. So it's you know, a lot of you yesterday were like, he didn't want to be broken up with, and that's why he's acting this way. And I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Check out what he says here, though. It's interesting.
I realize I'm still in a state of denial because she's leaving. I want to put it all on her. She's leaving. You know, why aren't we working this out? And I'm in a place where I don't know what to say.
I think it pains Kody to say that he's heartbroken. Heartbroken would be a better word than in denial. Because he's like, she's leaving, but I want her to say, like, why can't we work this out? She's not going to work it out, Kody. It's over. And she doesn't have to take responsibility for anything because she's leaving. I mean, obviously it takes two for a marriage to work and it takes two for a marriage to fail. But when one person decides to leave, it's over, and she doesn't want to work through it. And he can't handle that. He can't handle not having the control in the situation. And I think that bothers him more than anything. I think if it was the other way around and he was just going to continue to treat her poorly and emotionally abandon her, he would be fine with it. She would stay and he would get what he wants. But she said, I'm not going to put up with that anymore. Sorry, not sorry, goodbye. So Kody is angry, doesn't want to look weak, and wants her to take responsibility. And Christine wants to be responsible and share everything and tell everyone about their breakup, which I believe is the right thing to do. So that's the recap on that clip. Now for this next part, I want to just dive into this very quickly because yesterday I found out about a situation that was happening in Colorado City. If you're not familiar, we've talked about the Fundamentalist Latter-day Saints, which is the FLDS, the organization that was run by Warren Jeffs. And we talked about keep sweet, pray, and obey. Warren's incarcerated. And since his incarceration, his group has parts of it have stuck together and then other parts have broken off and factions have occurred and break-off sects have formed. And some of these sects still live in the same area. They still have the same people in them. They just have a different leader now. And a couple days ago, the FBI actually happened to show up at a home in Colorado City, which is where the FLDS was located. It's not as populated by FLDS individuals as it once was, but some still live there. And the FBI was there to find a man named Samuel R Bateman, who is now a leader of a faction of the FLDS. So it's a break-off faction. He believes he's the God and the prophet now. He actually told everyone that he was the prophet in 2006, but then Warren's brother said it like not long after him, and then someone else said it, and Warren ended up putting one of his sons in sort of place of him, even though Warren still leads the group. So this guy, Samuel, has been running a break-off sect, and he has FLDS members that follow him. Well, back on August 28th, he was actually pulled over in Flagstaff after people had seen him at a gas station outside of Flagstaff, and they noticed that there was these little fingers that were coming out of a trailer, a horse trailer. The horse trailer had no ventilation. It was completely closed, no lights, no proper seating, and they found little girls in there. So multiple people called police. Police eventually made contact with him and pulled him over. And when they made contact with the girls, they found little girls inside this horse trailer with a makeshift like bathroom and a stroller. And the girls ranged in age from 11 to 15. There was 6 girls in total, 5 that were under the age of 15 and under, and then a couple that were over the age of 18. None of the girls knew where they were going or why they were, like how long they were going to be gone for. And he couldn't really explain why they were in the trailer. He said it was fine. But again, no ventilation, no lights, no proper seating. They could have suffocated. So he was arrested for being very bad to kids because of that. And he gets arrested, but when this all happens, he happens to also delete a bunch of evidence on his phone. And through the investigation, they find out that he could be involved in trafficking of children, and there is a suspicion that he's doing some underage marriages, and he might be essaying some of these girls, and there could be some in this new faction following in the footsteps of Warren. And so he was arrested. He's been charged in Arizona on 3 counts of child ABUSE, but then he's also been charged in federal court for destruction of evidence, for tampering with evidence, and for trying to influence other people to delete evidence. And it's all electronic evidence on the app Signal. And it's a federal investigation into SA, physical ABUSE, and exploitation. There has been quite a few people that have been speaking out from this community. Some have said that he's a trafficker. Others have said he is becoming like the next Warren Jeffs. He prides himself on that. I've had some people from Colorado City actually reach out to me and say, this guy's in our community. He's a total creep. He's into girls, little girls, and he's got friends that are into little girls. There have been videos that have come out and posted on YouTube where his members are flat out calling him God and surrendering their kids and wives to him.
I just wanted to say amen to every single one of those words. I know they're true. And everything I have and am belongs to President Samuel R Bateman.
All that I have and hope to be belongs to my father, President Warren Steve Jeffs, where he is God to me.
Father Samuel is God to me.
So he was arrested. The FBI pull him out. Again, he's facing 3 counts in state court, 3 counts in federal court. He's facing like 35 years when it comes to state court, over 20 years in prison on federal charges, and the investigation is still ongoing. And it's astounding that this still happens in 2022. It's astounding that this world of polygamy in this day and age, this is happening. And it's astounding that even after everything that happened with Warren Jeffs, these people are in the FLDS still so brainwashed and conditioned to believe that minor children should marry adults. And this is a testament to how much poison Warren Jeffs put into these people. Like, to them, this is just totally normal. So someone I spoke to that lives in the area said that they really don't want these kind of people in their community, but there's a problem, and it's still an ever-present problem. There's lots of creeps, but there's a lot of people that still support him. And he's saying that I didn't do anything wrong, nothing's bad here, no reason to say anything. Warren Jeff's daughter, Sarah Thompson, who is his biological daughter, came out and said that she learned that he's a trafficker. Samuel Bateman is a trafficker, and he's done horrible things, maybe even worse than her father, Warren Jeffs.
So that video you guys just saw was the FBI and my dad arresting Sam Bateman as of this morning, who was arrested a couple days or weeks ago, I'm not exactly sure, for carrying 2 very young girls, one was 9, in the back of a horse trailer. Basically, what my dad said is that he is a truly evil man, and some of the things he did were even worse than my father.
So this is a story we're going to continue to cover, and it's probably going to blow up even more of the underbelly of what's happening in polygamy, and maybe will shine a light on the continued problem that Utah has, and even Arizona, with polygamy, and what they're allowing to still happen underneath their noses. Like, how is this still happening in 2022? How are these poor girls still not getting educated and being shuffled from family to family, and people playing God? Like, how is this allowed? It still is. And it's 2022. So if you're from the FLDS or you're a former member and you have some details, you can email me at tips@withoutacrystalball.com. I've had several former members reach out to me. I do keep everything anonymous, and I will always vet and verify everything, but protect your anonymity. All right, you guys, tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.